Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setup for today. So, a couple of things on the go here. So, this wedge has broken, but we're still going sideways, and you can see it does look like we're rejecting this level I gave you yesterday, which was 112.262. Now, if we come down to the hour, and bear in mind this is Euro USD, you'll see cup and handle pattern here. That's the neckline. That's just at the level, which is 112.262. Ultimately, what we're looking for, I'm going to use this level here. There's two things that need to happen. So one is we get a break and retest of this 112.262. That's going to validate this pattern for me, as well as this cup and handle. And then we're looking for a move more than likely up to that area there. You can see there is structure, and there's also the 155 EMA. So that's the first move. The other move is we move to the downside. So that's also possible. We come down here, but then I'll be looking for us to break below 112.057 and move to the downside. The problem is that what we do have is, we came up onto the trend line, trended with the trend line. Now we've broken, so it could come down, find a base here, and then turn again. So markets are thin at the moment, and still Thanksgiving weekend, so only a half day trading week. Half day trading today with New York Stock Exchange. So, and there's a little bit of noise in the market with COVID and a couple of other little odds and ends. And so, yeah, I'm kind of sitting on the side here. I don't think it's worth getting involved in the dollar right now. Monday is going to be an interesting day to look at it. Moving on to US dollar, Japanese yen. So we had the breakout, wrong line. We had the breakout, which is kind of, let's just put it to that level. There's a lot of tails here, so let's take the last one, which makes most sense. So this is the area we need to be paying attention to. Don't like the oscillators the way they are at the moment. That's just indicating we are extremely overbought at the moment, so we need to look for better structure than that. If we come down to the hour, though, you'll see the oscillators are starting to get to an area which is fairly interesting. Now, there are a few things that are happening on the hour, and the first one is a break below the 155. So if we get and you can see the 155 lines perfectly up with the previous swing low, if we get a rejection of that area and start moving, then I would expect first target to the downside is going to be 114.553, and second one is going to be 114.260. But yeah, when there's noise around the COVID, it's very hard on the forex market because every country going to get impacted. So how are you going to have one currency pair well, not pair, but how are you going to have one country's currency outperform another one when we're all hit with the same virus? So that's kind of why I'm like really, really, really wary when we're trading news on the virus, because especially on forex, all it does is really creates volatility, and then once the volatility is over, then we'll sort of revert back to whatever macro and microeconomics were driving the price of the currency. So yeah, I'm kind of sit on hands at the moment, especially today. And you can see here, British pound, Japanese yen. I mean, we've been going sideways for so long, and now with the news, we're driving at the downside. So this bit of news is because the UK have closed their borders to pretty much Southern African countries, and any UK citizen coming from South Africa, or Southern Africa, should I rather say, needs to go into hotel quarantine for 10 days at their own expense. So that's the only news that's come out against the pound, because that's the first bit of news around the virus in Europe. And look how it's impacting the pound. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, if the Japanese come out with a bit of news, sort of start blocking and shutting down and closing, then the pound's going to go up. So it's very difficult to trade this. As far as I'm concerned, this is sideways, and we need to look at it that way. So even if you block out the noise and don't try and chase this to the downside, rather wait for the retest and wait for some proper structure. So that's kind of the area that I would be interested in. 153.425. We start rejecting that area, then there's a nice area for a stop, and then there's an opportunity to be short on that pair. Euro British pound, similar kind of scenario here. Obviously now, the euro is stronger against the pound, but again, same bit of news. Essentially, Europe and UK are very close together, so the impact on how's the impact on the UK going to be different to the impact on Europe? So that's kind of, as far as I'm concerned, we're just top of range right now. There's way too much resistance to the left here. So I'd be interested to see what happens on Monday. Not really keen on chasing any of this right now. This is all knee-jerk reaction. So I think that's kind of my view on Forex at the moment. It's really just keep your money in your pocket, wait for the noise to settle, and then we can start finding the directions again. And I think the overall trends, when I talk overall trends, I'm talking the trends on the 8 hour, on the weekly, on the daily. I think those are going to continue. So that's kind of where we are. There's no indication that there's a trend reversal on any of the pairs just yet. Okay, anyway, that's kind of my view at the moment. Hope it helps somewhat, and I'm going to enjoy the long weekend. I'm not going to touch the trading desk today, and hope you guys do the same thing. Keep the money in the pocket. It's the wiser thing to do when the market's confused like this. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you on Monday morning. Cheers for now.